Next on AC 24/7, changes are coming to student loan forgiveness plans. Find out who is affected. Plus, cleanup is underway from Hurricane Ian as Floridians attempt to rebuild after the storm. And the official trailer for the next Black Panther movie is here. We have a look. Welcome to AC 24/7. I'm Stephen Walker. The Biden administration is scaling back eligibility for the program, according to one administration official. Over 700,000 people will be affected. This as Republicans fight to keep it from taking effect. The Advocate Channel's Emily Schmidt tells us who will miss out.
It did not resonate, like how much the payments would be once I graduated.
Brittany Williams is a doctoral student with $80,000 in debt. She's one of thousands waiting for President Joe Biden's administration to roll out the first wave of student loan forgiveness next month.
There's more work to be done.
But instead of doing more, the administration is actually scaling back eligibility. Borrowers whose federal student loans are guaranteed by the government but held by private lenders will no longer qualify.
Good morning.
The scale back announced the same day 6 Republican-led states sued President Joe Biden in an effort to block the ban.
In reality, the president's actions violate the law and are beyond his authority.
The White House continues to argue that its student loan forgiveness plan is legal prior to the changes. The Congressional Budget Office released a very rough estimate stating Biden's plan could cost the government $400 billion.
Our nation's finances are less secure because of the student loan bailout.
For Williams, debt forgiveness presents a chance to put money back in the economy.
We're postponing marriages. We're postponing, having children. We're postponing owning our own homes because the weight of the student loan debt is just so much.
I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
The sedition trial of 5 Oath Keepers is now underway. 5 members of the Oath Keepers are charged with conspiring to oppose the lawful transfer of presidential power by force on January 6, 2021. The Advocate Channel's Sarah Sidner has more.
These 5 people are the first Americans to go on trial for seditious conspiracy in connection with the January 6th attack on the Capitol. It is the most serious charge anyone has faced from that day, and very rare.
It is unprecedented in the sense that we've never had a violent disruption of the transfer of power from one president to another. That makes this an absolutely unique event in American history.
This is just some of the hundreds of hours of video prosecutors can use as evidence. It shows 3 of the 5 on trial who prosecutors say are Oath Keepers, the alleged members of the far right-wing militia wearing combat gear, walking in a military stack formation and breaching the Capitol. We're in the Capitol, bro! That is 40-year-old Jessica Watkins of Ohio, an Army veteran, celebrating. Right there with her, 47-year-old Army veteran Kenneth Harrelson of Florida, shown here inside the Capitol, and 53-year-old Florida man Kelly Meggs, the only member of the 5 who is not a military veteran. 2 of the charged never made it inside the Capitol, but prosecutors say they too planned and plotted to violently stop the peaceful transfer of power.
Every single in there is a traitor. Every single one!
That is Thomas Caldwell talking about the members of Congress inside. He's a Navy veteran who once worked for the FBI. Federal prosecutors say just days before the Capitol attack, Caldwell messaged the group about a plan to have weapons ready and waiting in nearby Virginia. We could have our quick response team with the heavy weapons standing by, quickly load them, and then ferry them across the river to our waiting arms, he said. But the highest profile person in that group is Army veteran Stuart Rhodes of Texas, the founder of the Oath Keepers. The other 4 on trial, prosecutors say, were his top lieutenants.
They are conspiratorial. They believe in a tyrannical government that is out to get people at every turn. It is really a perfect example of what the anti-government militia movement represents in modern times in the U.S.
Rhodes, a Yale Law School graduate and later disbarred attorney, can be seen outside the Capitol. Prosecutors say he had long planned for confrontation. According to court documents, Rhodes sent this message to his members in December, saying if Joe Biden takes the presidency, it will be a bloody and desperate fight. We are going to have to fight. That can't be avoided. UC Davis constitutional law expert Carlton Larson says it makes no difference in this case whether Rhodes breached the Capitol or orchestrated it from outside.
Indeed, him not going into the Capitol sort of suggests he's willing to send other people in to do his dirty business. Right? I mean, Osama bin Laden didn't fly into the World Trade Center. He sent minions to do it, but he's equally culpable for what happened on September 11th.
We want Trump!
The defense is expected to argue they came to Washington as peacekeepers and believed President Donald Trump would invoke the Insurrection Act. The act is from the 1800s and gives presidents emergency powers to deploy the military to quell unrest. What do you make of that defense?
Well, it's really grasping at straws. The Insurrection Act was not invoked, and so everything they did was done without any cover of the Insurrection Act.
Prosecutors will use videos, thousands of messages, phone locations, defendants' statements, and up to 40 witnesses to make their case. The trial is expected to last 5 to 7 weeks. Communities across Florida are attempting the unimaginable job of cleaning up and rebuilding after Hurricane Ian. Power and utility crews are working to restore service, while homeowners are returning to salvage what's left. The Advocate Channel's Ivan Rodriguez is in Fort Myers Beach with more.
To give you a sense of the destruction that we're seeing along Fort Myers Beach, behind me you can see that this used to be a restaurant. You can see even those pans from the kitchen still hanging there. Search and rescue efforts are continuing here, and we're right along the main road where we've seen many search and rescue vehicles, including fire department, police, and also EMS, continue along this road into Fort Myers Beach, where the recovery efforts are continuing. Days after Hurricane Ian ripped a deadly path through Florida, residents are left with the daunting task of picking up the pieces that are left behind.
I haven't seen anything like this, and I live in Southwest Cape, and my house got creamed, and it's a new house. You know, built to code and all that good stuff.
But where and how do they start? Some communities still don't even have the basics like power or running water. Not to mention many local stores and businesses where they could have purchased supplies or hired services have also been damaged or destroyed.
Yeah, there's no power and there's no water there, so that's the concern. I don't know what the government is able to do in Arcadia. I hope that they've got supplies there.
And then there are those who face additional cleanup challenges. Their homes cut off when bridges were washed away in the storm or roads were swamped. Search and rescue efforts are ongoing. The governor's office says more than 1,600 people have been rescued since last week, and it will take months, if not years, for these hard-hit communities to rebuild.
Right now, there's just nothing there, and it's going to take a very, very, very long time to get anything, even power, water, anything.
The Sanibel City manager says about 20 people remain on the island who chose to ride out the storm. They're still there, but they might not be able to stay there much longer since their supplies are also running out. In Fort Myers Beach, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Marvel has released a new longer trailer for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is the sequel to the original released in 2018. Actor Chadwick Boseman died in 2020 at the age of 43 following a battle with colon cancer. The new trailer features Black Panther villain Namor and his underwater kingdom, as well as new superhero Ironheart. Fans have long speculated how the actor's death will be handled in the sequel. At the end of the trailer, a woman appears in a new Black Panther suit, which many are guessing it could be Black Panther's sister, Shuri. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever hits theaters November 11th. The creator of gay rom-com Bros is expressing frustration with a 4th place opening weekend at the box office. The film has gained stellar reviews since opening at the Toronto Film Festival, but only opened with an estimated $4.8 million. Bros is the first gay rom-com given a wide theatrical release by a major studio, but it's hard to compete in a horror movie-driven October. Smile topped the box office with $22 million, followed by Don't Worry Darling with $7.3 million and Woman King with $7 million. Thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For content that advocates for you, go to advocatechannel.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Stephen Walker.